Welcome to Livewire at Home. I'm at home, you're at home because we're not allowed to have church right now, but we're still just going to keep going and we're going to have a great time with Livewire at home. Here's some things that you need to know about what we're going to do for the next little bit. One, this is for families to do together. So kids, go get your parents and tell them, come be a part of this. You might have a conversation with your parents and they might tell you things that you never thought because of this. So go get your parents right now. Pause the video. Go get your parents right now and all gather around because you want to do this together as a family. Two, there is going to be a lot of activity for you. It's not just sitting and watching me. So be ready to get up and move around. Be ready to hit that pause button because I'm going to tell you times to pause and do something. So I encourage you to pause it and go do it. Have some fun. Have some conversations. Do some of these activities. And three, I'm going to have times where I ask you to comment and to share. So make sure that you're ready to comment and share where you see this video. So let's begin with an awesome song. Never Be Shaken by Shout Kids. You can see a link to the Spotify of that video, and just below that you can see a link to an entire playlist of kid men songs that I've created for you that we will sing in Livewire, and you can start enjoying those songs now. Now let's check where we are in the challenge. You have 64,775 points. When you get to 100,000 points, that's right, you get a family game night. It's going to be awesome. Everyone can bring their games, and we're going to have games for us to play together and games to play that you just share with your friends. So it's going to be an awesome time. So you'll definitely want to get to 100,000 points. And here's how you get to 100,000 points. One, know your memory verse. Every memory verse is 1,000 points. So pause the video, ask your kids what the memory verse is, and film it and post it in the comments or on your Facebook page, tagging it the challenge or bringing the hope. Second is Julie's challenges. Those are the Lord's Prayer and the Doxology and the Apostles' Creed that you get in Sunday school from Julie. Those are worth 2,000 points. Third, bring a friend. So that is worth 5,000 points. And since you can't bring your friend here, we're going to change that up. If you share this video on Facebook, you can get 5,000 points. So share, pause, click the share button, share this video with your friends. We'll see how many shares are made, and we will get you 5,000 points. And then bring $10. And of course, you can't bring $10 right now, but you can use our app to give your tithe, give your offering. Finally, the Bring Your Hope challenge, and there's a link to the wall chart in our description. Just click that link, find some days, and share and comment on this post how your family brought hope this week. So I bet you want to work on the memory verse for this month. And so here it is. Why are you looking among the dead for someone who is alive? He isn't feared. He is risen from the dead, just as he said he would.
Why are you looking among the dead for someone who is alive? Why are you looking among the dead? Jesus is alive. He isn't here, he is risen.
here's the first activity I want you guys to do together. It's just a simple discussion question. I want you guys to pause this video and talk about what excites you the most about having time off school. What is your one favorite thing to do when you are off for school? So go ahead and pause that video and have that conversation. Today's Bible story comes from Numbers 13 and 14. And so we pick up with the Israelites after they had been rescued from Egypt. God sent the plagues on the Egyptians because Israel was slaves in Egypt. And God rescued them. He helped them cross the Red Sea. He destroyed the Egyptians. He brought them all the way, about a year's journey, to the promised land. And they were about to enter the land that God promised years, hundreds of years before this moment to their great ancestor Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. This was the land that God promised. It was beautiful. They said it was flowing with milk and honey, which means that there were a lot of cows, there was a lot of livestock, and there was a lot of flowers because bees make honey and they need flowers. Basically, it was an awesome place to settle down, enjoy the time. And so, as they gathered 12 people, one from each tribe of Israel, and they sent them into the land to check it out, to spy it out. And so, the spies, they snuck through the land. They looked around, and what they saw amazed them. The fruit was bigger and better than any fruit they had seen. Just one cluster of grapes was so big that they needed 2 people to carry it. It really was just like God promised. It was such a great land. They knew that this would be a perfect place to settle down. This is the place they wanted. But as they looked around, they saw the people, and they saw the big armies and the walled cities, and they saw these big, strong people that they were sure are these giants in the land, and they began to become completely terrified and so scared. They're like, there's no way, this land is awesome, but there's no way we can get it. These people are too big, the armies are too big, the walled cities, we could never get through. And so they went back home scared and terrified. And so 10 of the spies stood up and said, yep, the land is good, but the armies are too strong. There is no way that we can get past them. Ain't happening. We're all going to die. But 2 of the spies, Caleb and Joshua, stood up and they said, you are forgetting something. You are forgetting that this is the land God promised us, and God is on our side. If God is on our side, those armies won't be able to defeat us. Those giants won't be able to defeat us because our God is bigger and stronger than all they are. And so the people of Israel had to decide, oh man, I'm going to give in to fear. I'm going to be scared. This is too much. Or I'm going to listen to Caleb and Joshua. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to pause this video and go ahead and make a pros list, the good things that you would want to enter the land for, and the cons list, the bad things. You can go ahead and read the story in Numbers 13 and 14. See if you can't find some pros and cons that I didn't mention. Make that list and vote as a family. Are you going to go into the promised land, or are you going to stay? So go ahead and pause that video right. So what did you guys decide to do? Comment below with your decision. Did you decide to enter the promised land, or did you decide to move away and try to find somewhere else to live. Now, here is what the Israelites did. The 10 people started to panic among everyone. They were so terrified, they were so scared that they shouted to Moses, "Why did you bring us here to kill us? It is better that we go back to Egypt." And so a lot tried to go back to Egypt to become slaves in Egypt because they were so scared. And they said, "No, we won't enter the promised land." And God became angry and he said, "Okay, because you won't enter the promised land, because you won't believe me, you know what? 40 years you're going to wander about the desert. And then when all of you die after 40 years, your kids will get to enter. And only 2 people that can go in are Caleb and Joshua. Because Caleb and Joshua stood up for me. And they are going to be leaders. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to be spies in your own house, and I want you to search your own house. We're going to have a little scavenger hunt. Here's what you do. Here's the list of the things you need to find in your house. So go ahead, time yourself, see how fast your family can put together all the supplies in the scavenger hunt, and comment below. So go ahead and pause the video when you see the scavenger hunt list. So all the Israelites were too terrified to enter into the promised land. But Caleb and Joshua were an example of how you can trust God with your worries and concerns, because they knew the truth and they followed the truth that God is powerful and mighty and loving and good, and that we can trust him. And so they put their trust in God and were not afraid. Jesus tells us that we shouldn't worry about anything, because Jesus said, "Look at the grass in the field. They don't worry at all, but God clothes them. And look at the birds of the air. They don't worry at all, but God makes sure that they have their food." And so if God takes care of the birds and the grass, how much more will he take care of you? So I want you guys to take a couple minutes and talk about the things that you worry about. I'm going to list a few things, and I want you to rank those or add your own worries and add those to the list. And I want you to sit down with your family and talk about those things and rank those things as a family, what you worry about the most, and then comment your rankings below. Now I want you guys to sit together and talk about what you can do to help yourself from worrying so much, to calm your nerve, to not worry, but trust in God. So go ahead and pause and talk about it, then comment below what ideas you came up with. One of the things that helps me when I begin to worry and I begin to get scared, or when I see other people worrying and scared, is to memorize verses that encourage us when we worry to trust in God. And one of my favorite verses for that is Philippians 4, 6 and 7. It says, "Don't worry about anything. Instead, pray about everything. Tell God what you need and thank him for all he has done. If you do this, then his peace will guard your hearts and minds as you live in Christ Jesus." Take a few minutes to work on that verse another time, to practice it again, even come up with your very own actions for it. Take a video of yourself doing your very own actions to Philippians 4, 6, and 7 and comment with that video down below or post it on your own Facebook page using the hashtag LiveWireAtHome or Bringing the Hope. Finally, last activity for you guys. I want you guys to go out on a little nature hike and go explore the land and collect evidence from the land about what's awesome to live in your place, in your neighborhood. Maybe it's the awesome flowers or trees or whatever you find, a pine cone, something that's interesting. Collect them together, put it into a little collage, and of course, you know it by now, comment with a picture of your collage and share it with everyone and tell us, is this land worth living in? Thank you so much for being a part of this. I hope this helped during the craziness that is the coronavirus. Please comment or email me with any ideas of what I can do to help your family and to minister with you even when we can't hang out together. And look for Livewire at Home during our normal Wednesday night time when we can't meet, but we can meet online. So I can't wait to see you then. Goodbye.